Hello children, hope you and your family are in good health. Okay, take care. Fine. So we are going to start with the chapter ecosystem. Under this chapter we are going to get the answer for the question what is ecosystem. We will study the definition of the ecosystem over here. Okay, and then we will be studying in short what are the two components, that is biotic and abiotic components of the ecosystem. After that, we will be discussing the biotic and abiotic components in detail. Under biotic components, we are going to study the three categories of the biotic components, that is the producers, consumers and the decomposers. We will study what do we mean by food chain, food web and pyramid of numbers. Then we will go through the topic interdependence of organisms, in which we will study how one organism depends upon the other organism for its life. Under abiotic components, we are going to study the different types of abiotic components and how these abiotic components are useful to the living organisms of a particular area. Fine. Lastly, we will be discussing the forest ecosystem, in which we are going to discuss different types of forest found in nature, and we are going to study the flora and fauna, that is the types of animals and plants present in a particular type of forest. Okay, so all these things we are going to study under the chapter ecosystem. We will start the chapter with the question what is ecosystem. Okay, see, when you consider an organism living in an area, you must have observed that it interacts with other living organisms of that area and also with the environment. Okay, I'll just give you one example. Suppose there is a rabbit in a particular area. Okay, this rabbit will be interacting with other living organism, for example plants, for its food, and it will be interacting with the environment, that is air, to get the oxygen for the purpose of respiration. So the rabbit is depending upon the other living organisms and also with the environment. Okay, so it is forming a complete unit, this complete thing, organism depending upon each other and with the depending on the environment, it is forming a complete unit, and this complete unit is called as ecosystem. So we will go through the definition of ecosystem. An ecosystem is a unit that consists of all organisms in a particular area interacting with one another and with their non-living surrounding. So with the view of rabbit, it will interact with other living organism, plants, and it will interact with the non-living surrounding, that is the environment. Okay, so ecosystem once again is a unit that consists of all living organisms in a particular area interacting with one another and with their non-living surroundings. You can consider a pond ecosystem, forest ecosystem or grassland ecosystem. Okay, we'll just take the example of pond ecosystem. Pond is a well demarcated area containing water. Okay, so it is a permanent area where there will be water present, so that is a pond. Fine. Now remember one more thing, that there is continuous exchange of energy and matter taking place between the living and the non-living components of the ecosystem. Okay, continuously the energy and the matter is exchanged between the living and non-living components of the ecosystem. Fine. So the two components that form the ecosystem, they are the biotic components and the abiotic components. Right? Biotic components and abiotic components. Now when you consider the pond ecosystem, as I will show you in this diagram, see here, this is the pond ecosystem. Okay, the biotic components in the pond ecosystem are the plants. You can see the duck to be present, the fish to be present. These will be forming the biotic components of the pond ecosystem. When you consider the abiotic components, the sunlight received by the pond, the oxygen that is dissolved in the pond water, the rock, the soil, all these things will be forming the abiotic components of the pond ecosystem. Okay, so what we studied is that the ecosystem has two components, biotic and abiotic components, right? We will be studying about both the components in detail. To start with the biotic components, see, bios means life. So all the organisms which are having life will be considered under biotic components. Okay, all living things present in an ecosystem form the biotic components. Okay, we are having the plants, animals, scavengers, decomposers, all of this form the biotic components. Now coming to the categories of the biotic components. There are three categories: producers, consumers and decomposers. Each one we are going to study in detail. Okay, we will start with the producers. Producers, also called as autotrophs. Producers are the organisms that produce their own food. Okay, such organisms which are able to produce their own food are called as producers. Okay, all green plants are producers. Why? Because with the help of the process called as photosynthesis, the plants will be absorbing the solar energy and converting the energy into chemical energy as food. Okay, so the green plants by the process of photosynthesis produce the food, and this food is not only available to the plants but they are also available to the other living organisms. So what you can say is the plants are the main source of food and energy for other organisms. All organisms directly or indirectly depend upon the green plants for their food. Okay, we will be discussing this in detail further. The second component is the consumers. Consumers are also called as heterotrophs. Hetero means different. See, heterotrophs or the consumers are the organisms that cannot prepare their own food and they depend upon producers directly or indirectly for their food. Okay, so hetero means different. They will be depending upon some different organism for their food. That is why they are called as heterotrophs. So what we see is the consumers cannot prepare their own food. They depend upon the producers directly or indirectly for their food. That is why they are called as consumers or heterotrophs, right? All animals can be considered as consumers or heterotrophs. Okay, there are various categories of consumers. The first one is primary consumer. Primary consumers depend directly upon the plants for their food. Okay, they will be eating the plants, so they are called as primary consumers. They are also called as herbivores because they feed on the plants. Example can be cow, rabbit, deer, etc. Okay, all these organisms are primary consumers because their main food is plants. Next is secondary consumer. Now secondary consumers feed on the herbivores. Okay, for example, the tiger will be feeding on the rabbit. Okay, so it will be, the tiger will be called as the secondary consumer because it feeds on the herbivore. The tiger will also be called as carnivore because it is a flesh eater. It eats the flesh of the rabbit. That is why it is called as the carnivore. Okay, now here what you see is that the secondary consumer is indirectly depending upon the plants for their food. Okay, the rabbit dependent upon the plants and the tiger depends upon the rabbit. Okay, but the rabbit was depending upon the plants, so the tiger is indirectly depending upon the plants for the food. Understanding? So that is secondary consumer which feed on the herbivores, and the example over here is tiger. They are also called as the carnivores because they are flesh eaters. Coming to the third type, tertiary consumers. Okay, the tertiary consumer depend upon other carnivores for their food. Okay, you can take the example of the snake, right? So snake will be considered as the tertiary consumer. See, suppose there is a grain eating insect. Okay, that insect will be eaten by a frog, and that frog will be eaten by the snake. Okay, so frog over here is carnivore, and the snake is depending upon the that particular carnivore. That is why the snake will be called as the tertiary consumer. Fine. Yeah. Now there are some other modes of nutrition also seen. The first one is omnivore. Here the organism will be feeding on the plants as well as on the animals, and the example is human or bear. Okay, human eats plant products also and animal products also. That is why it is called as omnivore. Then there are scavengers which feed on the dead bodies of the animals. Okay, certain animals which will be killed by some carnivore, okay, and left over by eating. That leftover dead body will be eaten by the scavengers. Okay, the example is vulture or hyena. They are scavengers. They feed on the dead bodies of the animals. Fine. Now we go to the next point, that is decomposers, the third component category of the biotic components. Okay, decomposers are the organisms which break down the dead and decaying organic matter. For example, bacteria and fungi. Bacteria and fungi will be breaking down the dead and decaying organic matter. Okay, suppose there is a dead plant, okay, in the forest, so the bacteria and the fungi will be growing on it. It will be breaking down the decaying organic matter and converting into simple substance. How? Okay, so here the bacteria or the fungi which are acting as decomposers, they release substances that digest complex organic matter and convert into simple nutrients. Okay, they will be releasing some substances, digestive chemicals. They release digestive chemicals in the form of enzymes. These enzymes will be converting the complex substance into simple substance. You can take the example of, it will be converting the starch to glucose, and then glucose will be converted into more simpler forms. Okay, so decomposers convert complex organic matter into simple nutrients. Okay, so decomposition reaction is taking place. That is why they are called as decomposers. Fine. These simple nutrients, they get mixed with the soil and they will be used by the plants later on. Over a period, they get mixed with the soil and used by the plants. Okay, so what we see over here, we see that the plants are eaten by animals. Animals will die. They will be decomposed and degraded by the decomposers, and the nutrients will be recycled back to the environment. So you say that the decomposers keep the environment clean and help in bringing about the recycling of the nutrients like carbon and nitrogen. See, very simple. The starch is converted into glucose. The glucose will be used by the decomposers. Okay, and carbon dioxide will be released. So that carbon dioxide means carbon is returned back to the environment. Okay, so keep that example in mind related to the decomposers. Fine. So what we studied in this video, we studied about what do we mean by the term ecosystem. Okay, what do we mean by ecosystem, and then we studied about biotic components, the three categories of the biotic components. We will continue with the lecture. We will continue with the topic in the further lecture. Okay, bye.